Hello, you'll probably notice that I haven't had that much activity on my blog over the last few weeks. I've been really manic and busy at work, so I just haven't had a chance. I've been doing some stuff in the background here, stuff on the power supply and that sort of thing. I've got a revision of the second revision of the power supply. PCB. I've got to build that up. So that's I'll get done soon. Also, I wanted to review the software that I use to build the power supply because I keep getting asked that questions quite a lot. Anyway, let me first say just Happy New Year to everyone that watches. And as I say, I apologise for the lack of content over the last few weeks. I just really haven't had the time to do it. Anyway, today what I was going to do, a really quick video. I use Apple, probably a lot of you know I use an Apple Mac, and I also use one at work, and the one at work probably about 6 or 7 months ago started flickering, and then I ended up with a screen that was on one side of it was sort of dark, and I called Apple up, and it was actually out of warranty. It's a 27-inch Mac, and it was out of warranty just like the one at home, and they sort of just said, well, we don't know about the problem. It's you just have to bring it into an Apple store and the Genius Bar, and they'll sort it out, and you'll have to pay for it. So I had a look around on the net and found that actually quite a lot of people have had this same problem, and it looks like it's a manufacturing problem. There's a connector on the actual screen, inside the screen, on a kind of plastic substrate, not like a normal FR4 type PCB, but some kind of plastic material. And it's badly soldered, and it just comes away. I think the heat of the screen after prolonged use, and it just breaks away. And what Apple do is apparently they just replace the whole screen. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this is my Mac from work. I brought it home. I'm going to take it apart and have a go at repairing it. There's loads and loads of people that have got this problem, so it's really disappointing from Apple, because I have to say, I know not everyone's an Apple fan, and I know that they're expensive and all that kind of stuff, but it is a nice desktop machine. There's no doubt about that, and I really like using them. And the fact that there's a Unix variant behind them, in fact, it's FreeBSD. I think it's FreeBSD or OpenBSD or some BSD variant. Makes it really great for the kind of work that I do, and also the kind of stuff I do here. So so I actually really like them, and mostly Apple are pretty good. And actually, even out of warranty, if you read the forums or listen to what people say, some people chance their arm, take it, and Apple just sorts it out. And other times, in my case, which was the case, they just point blank refuse to recognise the problem. And it's not like there's only a few people that have got the problem. A whole bunch of people have got the problem. Anyway, I think Apple, really ought to take note and recognise that it's a problem and stop. It's not like these machines are 10 years old. I think my machine was out of warranty by 3 or 4 months when it failed. So it's not really that long, and it's not great for a machine that as we all know, you kind of pay a bit of a premium price for. Anyway, I thought I'd make it an interesting video, because a lot of people on the Apple forums who've got this problem actually just end up biting the bullet and paying to get it repaired by Apple. A couple of people have repaired them, so this is how I know where the fault is and what it is, or what it's likely to be. I'm going to attempt the same repair that someone else did, which is I'm going to solder some wires in, try and get those wires into. It's a very small opening, and we'll see when we take it apart just how small it is, and repair it that way. So I'm not sure how great a job I'm going to be able to do getting really detailed video footage of it. I'll do my best, and we'll see how it goes. Hopefully, anyway, it'll give you enough of an insight to if you do have this problem. Then you'll be able to tackle it yourself and repair it. Anyway, so let's go over to the computer, and I'll first of all show you the fault, and then we'll take it from there. So hopefully the camera can pick up the problem. You can see here, this basically the side of the left-hand side of the screen is really dark versus the right-hand side, which is actually quite light by comparison. And as I say, when this failed before, it sort of flickered for a little while, and then it failed completely. And I've used it like that for a few months for reasons I've already talked about. So a really good way to see this more clearly is just put something that's got a white screen in full screen. You can basically see it's most of that area is dark. So the thing to do is take it apart, and let's have a look at the connector. The connector is down in this bottom left-hand corner here at the back of the screen. So we've got to get that out and have a look at that and see if that's actually the fault. I wasn't going to bother showing the teardown of the Mac because I've done that already. You can see that on a previous video, which I'll link to below. What I was going to show you though is how easy it is to get the front off of these things. If I just zoom out a second, so you can see the top of the screen. It's often shown that you need a special tool or a suction cap or whatever. Basically, this is held in with magnets, so it's pretty easy as long as you've got reasonably strong nails, which I might not have. Just get in behind, yeah, like that, and it's just magnetic. So once you get it away, the front comes out just like that, nice and easy. All right, okay, so I've got the screen out and I'm laying it down here on the bench. This is the bottom of the screen. This is the top of the screen. So this is turned 180 degrees. So this corner here is this corner here, and the connector, according to the various comments in the Apple forums, Apple's support forums, the actual problem is down in this corner here. Let me just reposition the camera. I've got a bit of this photography linen. I've just put it down on the table there just to protect the screen. So this is apparently where the problem is, and what it is, it's basically a surface mount connector, which is used for the LED backlight. So just grab a screwdriver. Hopefully we can open this up and take a look and see what we can see under there. So this is basically just sticky tape. Now what I want to try and do is avoid taking the whole screen apart, because taking this frame off and all this tape around the whole screen would actually be quite a large undertaking, and I'm not sure I fancy doing that. There are actually wires under here, so you need to be really careful. Okay, so this is the connector. Now, I'm not sure if I haven't really put any pressure on this cable, and it looks like this is definitely the issue. Sorry about the... Right, and you can see here, so what I'm feeling there is something that's really, really loose. Now this white clip here looks like it's a connector retainer. So what I think I'm going to have to do is either take the whole screen apart, which I don't want to do, or I'm going to look to see if I can actually cut that retainer out from this side. Let me try that. Yeah. Okay, so you've seen I've had to cut this plastic away here. That was some kind of retainer. I guess that's part of the backlight assembly in there, that white plastic. And if you just have a look at the cable, I've removed the cable, and exactly as reported on the forums, you can see the cable and the connector have come out as one. And I don't know how well we can get focused on this. Let's have a look. You can see here these have literally come unsoldered from the board back here. So there's the connector, and they've just come unsoldered. So I'm going to reposition the screen now and try and get some detailed shots of what's in there and what we can see, and then try and formulate a plan to try and repair the thing. But that's certainly where we're at the moment. Okay, that's about as close as I can get to with this camera. I don't have a macro lens for this particular camera that I'm using. That's a small screwdriver. So you can see just in here. Sorry about the shadows. You can see just down here at this face is where those connections are meant to be made. So what I'm going to try and do is cut away this plastic with a knife carefully, and then I'm going to try and solder through this hole. Not sure how successful that's going to be. I think someone has already done it. Just for a point of reference, this hole is about 8mm by 11mm opening. So, and I've got 6 wires to get in there. I'm going to check also, see if they're internally connected, because they may well be. This is for a backlight, they might not be individual connections. Right, let me cut away this plastic. Okay, that's about as much as I can clear out there. So I think the next thing to do is to... I'm not actually at the best angle here. I'm standing this side of the camera over here. I can't quite see that, so it's just because of the way I've got the lights and everything set up. So I'll reposition everything now and see if I can get a better shot on here, and maybe we can video the soldering attempt. Okay, it's really small in there. The pitch of the connector is about 0.5mm. Sorry. I think it's 1mm. Actually, I can just check that. So soldering it is going to be, yeah, it's 1mm pitch. So I need some magnification just to, my eyes aren't that good. But so my plan, what I'm going to try and do is, sorry about the lighting here. Let me just must improve this lighting setup one day. I'm going to use some wire wrap wire. Very short length of it. My aim is to get 6 wires soldered onto the 6 connections on that board in there. That, I think it's part of the LED backlight. Bring them out probably a couple of inches and then solder them onto this connector, and see if I can get it put together in that way. That's probably the best. I can't put it in. You see, if I try and place the connector, if I try and put that in and then try and solder it, there's no way I can get the soldering iron in. There's just not enough room. And I have had another look at this screen, and I just don't fancy spending the hours. I'm sure that will take hours to take that apart without damaging it, and God knows what's under there. So I think this is the best option, to try and repair it in this way. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm not sure. I'm going to leave the camera on. This is the magnification I'm using. I'll try and reposition the camera just so you can see, or at least as best as I can make it. Okay, first thing to do, just before trying and solder anything, I'm just going to try and tin these and just make sure that if that, I presume it's unleaded solder that they've used, and I just want to get some leaded solder on there so it's easier to... Oh, this is really awkward, this magnifier is... One more second. Okay, I don't want to put too much pressure on these wires when I strip them, so I'm going to use a pair of pliers just to hold the wire. By doing this, you can just lever against the pliers, which is quite a nice technique. Right then, that's not the world's most brilliant repair, but as I say, I'm not sure I wanted to take the whole screen apart, so I think I'll settle for that. Hopefully it'll work. Obviously, if it doesn't work, worst case scenario, I can probably just get the camera around here. Worst case scenario, if it doesn't work or if something's wrong, worst case scenario, I can just cut this or disconnect that again, and I'll be back in the same position with only half a screen working. So it's not a terribly risky repair this, it's just but it is worth doing. The alternative, as I said before, was pay Apple 450 quid and they'll replace the screen, but it seems like a pretty expensive fix for something that's just a dry joint that actually never should have been a fault in the first place. Clearly a manufacturing fault. Yeah. Right, I'll go and put this screen back in and we'll power it up and see if it works. Okay, that's the screen back in, so let's give it its first power up and we'll see if it even works actually. Hey, there we go. So that's actually yeah, that's definitely fixed, because that white screen, if you remember before, was when it was all white, you had a very dark area there, so that's spot on. That seems to work. Let's just let it start. All right, I'll put the rest of the screen back together and then I'll wrap up in a second. Okay, and there we are, screen back and back to the original position, and now that there's no dark side there, so that's it. So that's how you repair the 27-inch iMac dark side screen problem. Okay, that's it. It wasn't the most beautiful repair in the world. It was quite awkward to do. Kept on melting the bits of plastic just round the hole there. Stripping the screen down, really, I mean, I have no idea what I would have found in there. There's probably all sorts of risks involved in doing that. Could damage the screen. And as I said at the start, Apple charged about £450 to fix this. I think they replaced the actual screen panel. And so that would have been my backstop position. But anyway, yeah, that was a relatively easy fix. Doesn't cost very much, apart from a couple of hours in time. And it's a good fix. Anyway, if you found that useful or in any way interesting, please give it a thumbs up, and I'll catch you next time.